Hi, Suneetha. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi Manjusha, good afternoon.
Could you please open PPT?
Yes,
Next.
yes. Yeah. First I'm going to share my screen, Manjusha. Manjusha, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the PPT I have created for user variables, Manjusha. Today I'm going to explain about user variables. First, I'll let you know what is user variables. The user variables, we can set the user variables to restrict the number of members to access for users. So, and coming to second slide, in this topic, I am going to let you know how where the user variables we'll use in the application. So we'll use in the that user variables in the data forms, RTP, means runtime prompt and business rule and smart view. And coming to third slide, here I'm come up with three questions. That is the what is the use of user variable? So use of the user variable, we can restrict the users to access the members of members of the variable members of the values where user can focus only on the members what he has access. And what is the difference between the user variable and substitution variable? So like here we have to make a point, both user variable and substitution variable are created only by administrator only. So user variable, coming to differences. Substitution variable are fixed and users cannot make a changes for substitution variable values. When it comes to the user variable, so as a user we can make changes and we can make changes and we can select the members what we want. So that is the difference between the user variable and substitution variable. And one more difference is substitution variable we can create in the cube level. But coming to the user variable, we can create the user variable in the level of a dimension level. So this is about differences between user variable and substitution variable. Which use case do we user variable over the substitution variable? So for this, I have come up with one use case. So that is, suppose in the application we have so many users. Suppose user one from in India and user two from USA. User from USA, he just wanted to access the entities of only in his region. Suppose that is from New York. He just wanted to access the members entities only from his region, New York region. For that, he can simply go to the user preferences. He just select the user variable and he just select the member, that is the entity member what he want. Like that user from India, he just wanted to select the entity from New Delhi region. He just go to the user preferences and he just select the New Delhi entity from Delhi region. Like that, he can use the user variable over the substitution variable. So here you can come up with one question, Manjusha, why we are not going to use substitution variable instead of user variable. So why, as I already told you, so for substitution variable, as a user we cannot make any changes. For doing changes, we can again contact with the administrator. He has to go to the substitution variable. He has to change the substitution variable value. This is a long time taking process. So if I use user variable as a user, I directly go to the user preferences and I can make a changes there, and I can select whatever entity I need. So that is about this third question answer. And next, can you show me how to create user variables form the following use cases? So here we have a note. Since we don't have list of users in the application, try to explain how user variable behaves by using the administrator user only by using the use case assumption below. So here I'm logging by administrator. We don't have list of users. That is what just we are assuming as admin are the user. Admin is the user. So use case one is assume user one is the owner of any two entities. Assign those two entities as values to the entity dimension. So just I'm going to navigate to the application. There I'll tell you how to create user variables. So to navigate user variables, we have to just go to the navigator. Under tools, we have to click on variables. Under this, we have user variables. So here already I have created user variable with the name of user entity. So to create new one, we just click on plus icon. We have to just click on plus icon. Here we'll get this one. So as I told you, user variables we can create in the dimension level. So we can select any one, whatever you want, account or consolidation or any dimension you can select, and you can give name, your user variable name, and variable definition. Whatever variables members you want, you just go to the here, you can select here. So like this we can you can you can create a user variable. So here already as per the use case one, I have already created this user variable for entity dimension. So here you can see I have given use EN0105 India and EN06 USA. So only for those two entities, you as a user we can access. Except these two entries, we cannot access as a user. So like this, we can create user variable. I have created this other user variable as a user period. Like this is one more thing I have created. And this is about user variable, creation of user variable. And have completed this slide, and coming to next slide, can you reuse any of the data forms and show me how to use the user variable as per use case one from slide 3. So here what we are going to do, whatever I have created user variable, that user variable I'm going to use in the data form. For that purpose, I'm going to go back to the application, and I'm going to the forms which I have created under library data forms. This is the one I have created for the demonstration purpose. Just to open this, we have to click on edit. So here you can see here I have used this user variable which I have created. So just you can simply click on edit. Go to the entity dimension. To select this user variable, we have to click on this variables tab. Here you can see user entity. Whatever I have created, this one we have to select and we have to move it to the right side. As I already selected, so I'm not going to make any changes. So this like this we can use the user variable in data form. And again going back to the PPT. And second question, can you explain how user one can access the data form which is created based on the above question in details of how entities are restricted to the two entities of ownership? So for this question again, so I'm going to, once we have created this one, just we have used the user variable, we have to just click on save. And so if you click on preview, you can see here entity, under entity, you can see the EN0105 India. And one more point here, Manjusha. So suppose if I first time I'm using this user entity, means a user variable, first before saving and before previewing or opening the data form, first we need to go to the user preferences. Here to go to the user preferences, we have to click on here, and you have to go to the user preferences. Here we have to mention whatever the member we need, whatever the entity we need. We have to click on this. Suppose if you want EN0106 or EN0105, we have to just click on OK, and we have to click on save. After going user preferences and we have to set up these user preferences, then only we have to open the form, or else it will show you an error. As I already gave the user preferences, that is what I didn't get any error pop up. So again, I'm going to show you this form. So this is the one. So I'm going to preview the form. So like this. So as I have changed my preference to EN0106 USA, so like here it has applied a per entity dimension. So I'm going back to the PPT. Should user one supposed to access any of the entities other than the two entities or she or he wants in the data form? So answer is no. He cannot access any entities other than the two entities. Why? Because that is the purpose of user variable. Only he can access whatever the entities he has in the user variable. Those only he can access. So that is what the answer is the no. And coming to user requirement, can you show me how to enable the dynamic user variable? So to enable the dynamic user variable, we have to again go to the application and so go to the other options. Here we have the option, like I'm going to deselect here. So here, go to the dynamic user variables tab, just expand it, this section and this section, we just expand this section. So here we have an option, enable dynamic user variable. Whatever user variable we need, those user variable we have to select and we have to move it to the right side and we have to just simply click on enable dynamic user variable. This is the answer for that one. And take any parent entity as an example. Show how only the children of that parent entity are filtered in the data form. So for this also, this is the answer. And so using dynamic variable, we can restrict the only whatever shades under parent, we can restrict those one. So here enable dynamic user variable, why we use this one, the purpose of this one. So if we enable this one in the data form, we'll get a POV selection for whatever the entities are in the present in the user entity. Suppose just I'm clicking on save. If I preview this form, so as I have selected here, just I'm saving one more time. I preview this form. One second. So I'm going back to the forms, the data. This is the one. And under data forms folder, this is the one I have created. So just we have to click on refresh. I don't know why it is not reflecting here. Again, I'll go to the forms which I have created. Data forms in the form for user variable. So I'm going back to the other options. Okay, it is not selected here. That is what. So just whatever variable we are using, user variable, we have to just click on that one and we have to select here. Right side, we have to move and we have to enable this one and we have to click on save. Now it will be enabled as a POV. You can see here. Yes. So user entity. This is one. If I click on this, you can see here. For two entities, we can select here either whatever you want. So in the form, you can see now it is EN0106 USA, data form for EN0106 USA. If I want this form for India, we have to click on this one and we have to select this and click on OK. You can see the changes here, EN0105 India. Like this, we can use the dynamic enable user variables. So, and coming to next one. When the data form is saved, the BR should run only in the context of entity selection made. For this point, we have to create one business rule. For this demand, this question purpose, I have already created one business rule for user variable using user variable. So this question, when data form is saved, the BR should run only in the context of entity selection made. For that, what we have to do, we have to again go to the form. We have to go to the business rules tab on this. So this is the one. So this is the one I have already created the business rule. The before like we have to select this business rule and we have to click on right side, and that after that we have to click on this run after save and use on like this. Before selecting this, like we come up with like this. These two check boxes will not select it, and it will open like this. So for this, we have to click on this. We have to move it to the right side, and it will be, once we have moved it to the right side, it will be enabled here under by business rule properties. And then we have to select these check boxes, use members form, this one, and we have to click on save. So like this, we can use this business rule in the data form. And I'm done with this fourth slide and coming to fifth slide. Can we use user variable in RTP? Yes, we can use user variable in RTP. And if yes, can you limit the user variable in RTP to be able to restrict user one from accessing the entities other than she or he owns? Yes, for this also we can limit. This is the answer is yes. I'll show you how to use this user variable in RTP. For that, we have to navigate to the navigator. And to open the rules, we have to click on rules under manage, create and manage. We have to click on this one. So as I have already opened here, I'm going to just close this one. So this is the one. So further, once we open this one, so we'll come up with the page. So to create RTP, like user variable under the RTP runtime prompt, we have to click on action. We have to click on variable designer and expand the CPN cloud. And I'm going to create this user variable under global. So here you can see these are the variables I have created already. So this is the user variable I have created under this runtime prompt. So I'm just going to change my variable name for naming purpose. This is for user variable. Just I'm going to change like this. We can once we have given these names, type is member. I have taken, and dimension type as it is for entity dimension. I have chosen entity, and if we click this RTP checkbox, this limit and default value will be enabled these boxes. So once we have given these details, and we have to give text also. Once we have given all these details, we have to click on save. Like this, we have to create user variables under the runtime prompt. Going back to the PPT. So if yes, we have answered this first question, and if yes, can you limit the user variable in the RTP to be able to restrict user one from accessing the entities other than he or she wants? Answer is yes. I'll show you how to restrict the limit. For this, again, we have to go to the calculation manager. Here we have the option like limit. So under limit with ampersand, we have to give the user variable which we have created in the application. So this is the one I have created in the application user entity. So if I give this user limit, user entity variable under limits, so user can access only the entities whatever he has in the user variable of user entity. If I remove this, he can able to access all the entities. So that is the, like that we can limit the entities, entities which he can access. So just I'm clicking on save and going back to the third question, use this RTP in business rule and show me how it works. So for this we have to create business rule. I'll go to the navigator and I'll let you know how to create business rule. To create business rule, we have to again go to the rules and rules. So there we have to click on system view and under EPM cloud, under our application, under console, we have to expand this under rules. So we have these rules, FCCS underscore 10 to 60. These are the predefined system rules, and these are custom rules which I have created. For this demonstration purpose, I have already created this custom rule. To create new one, we have to simply click on actions and we have to click on new object. So by using this new object, we can create a new custom rule. Here, as I have already created, I'm just opening this. To open this, we have to right click on and click on open. So this is the one I have created, custom underscore rule underscore UB. So like this, we have to create a business rule. Here I have given this script. And so use this RTP in the BR and show me how it works. So like to use this RTP, we have to again go to this business rule. Here you can see I have already created this RTP underscore ENT, RTP underscore user period. I have created and I have used this one in the business rule. And I have made some changes for this user variable. I have given name as user ENT. Just now I'm going to save this. To save this, we have to click on this. This one is saved. Once business rule, like this, we can use the RTP in the business rule. So I'm done with this slide and coming to next slide. Usage of user variable in BR. Can you show me how to use the user variable in the BR? So already I explained you how to use the user variable in the BR. I have shown you like this we can use the user variable. And can you explain what advantages does the usage of user variable has over sub variable in BR? So already told you, like if we use the substitution variable, we cannot make any changes for substitution variable values. While it comes to the user variable, we can make any changes. So that is what we can use the user variable instead of substitution variable in BR. So can you explain which of the following approach is recommended or not recommended for using entity in BR? Please explain why and if you can. So like here I have given and I have saved business rule, custom rule. So after saving, if we want to see in the business rule, we have to validate and deploy. For validate, we have to click on this. So validation is successful with no errors. And once validated, we have to click on deploy. Either we can click on this in this or else we can go and actions and we can click on deploy. So I'm deploying this. So deployment was successful. To see whether it has been entered in the business rule or not, we have to go to our application and we have to click on rules under dashboards. These are the business rules. Just click on refresh as I have made changes. So this is the one I have created. Just click on launch. You can see as I have given the text in the variable designer, please enter the entity or please enter the period. So, and these are the user variables which I have used in the user variables and the RTP. So like this, we can use user variables in the business rule. And coming to this question, which of the following approach is recommended, not recommended for using entity in BR? So hard coding. Coming to hard coding, this is the script for hard coding. Like this, we can use directly. Fix June, like we can enter directly names manually, June, or else coming to years FY22, or like this, coming to entity, you can write EN01 like this. So hard coding is not at all recommended. Why? Because it will repetitive task and it is time taking task. So we have to come and we have to enter manually. That is what hard coding is not at all recommended. And next one, using user variable of entity or using a sub variable of entity, we can use this one, but we can, if we go to the business rule, we cannot get any prompt while using this user variables or substitution variable. But coming to using RTP, we can, this is the recommended one. I can recommend this to use entity in BR. Why? Because if we launch the business rule, we will get the prompt to enter the entity. So that is what, this is the recommended one. And coming to seventh slide. So using user variable in smart view. So can you explain how to insert user variable in smart view? To go to the smart view, here we have one tip. Use the use case 1 from slide 4. So in the slide 4, we have created one form. We have used one form and we have used a user variable in that form. So I'm going to use that form in the smart view. To open the smart view, we have to click on Excel. Just I'm clicking on Excel. We have to go to the smart view. We have to the panel. Go to the panel. In the panel, we have to go to the private connections and we have to click on smart view. So we have to give the credentials. So EPM underscore default underscore cloud admin. EPM underscore default and password. I'm going to enter password. EPM. So I have connected to the smart view. So under this, just I'm going to select the form which I have created, which I have used user variable. This is the one, form for user variable. Just I'm going to click on ad hoc analysis. So like this. So this is the form which I have created. So here, how to use this user variable in the smart view. So for that, I'm going to I have created period for period one user variable, for entity one user variable. So I'm going to select this one to from POV to pivot. So for that, I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to click on here. Here, to use user variable, we just click on, we just need clear, we have to give ampersand and user variable name. User variable, that is the user underscore entity. And for periodic, underscore period. So FY22, this is the substitution variable I have given, that is the directly I'm giving FY22 and March. Just if I click on refresh, so here I have to give the substitution name also. Just I'm going back to the substitution variable. Just I'm taking the reference what I have given the name. So for period, I have given current period. Percent current period and ampersand current period. Current year it is. So current year and user variable, I'm just cross checking once. User entity, I've given underscore, that is what it was not reflected here. So I'm going to make change. So this is the case sensitive. We have to give correct naming here. So I've given all the details and I'm just going to click on entity. And just closing this one, I'm not going to save here. Again, I'm going to open this one. Manjusha, I'm taking new form. So I'm just taking new Excel form. I'm just opening here. Just sign here. Just to go to Smart View and click on panel. To connect to the Smart View, just click on Smart View. Just give the credentials EPM underscore. Default underscore cloud admin. Password is EPM. So I have connected here and just we have to expand this one. We have to open the form which I have created. This is the one. I have opened the form and just click on ad hoc form. As there is a missing blocks, just for this we have to Smart View. Just go to options. Just we have to go to data options. We just uncheck this one. Just click on one. I'm just refreshing. Now it will be opening the ad hoc analysis. So just I'm moving this POV to this one, this side. So now here I'm going to use this EN01 in the entity. I'm going to use this user variable entity. So for that, I'm just going to click on this one. So here, to use this user variable in the Smart View, we have to give ampersand with the username, user variable name. This is the user entity. And substitution variable, current year and period. Just we have to click on refresh. So here you can see whatever the variable value member in the user variable that is reflected here. So this is like we can we can use the user variable in the Smart View. So this is about this slide. And so I'm done with all the topics, Manjusha. I have covered data forms, using the variables in the data forms, using the user variables in the runtime prompt, using the user variables in the BR and Smart View. So this is all about from my end, Manjusha.
Okay, thank you, Suneetha.
Yeah,
You can
thank you, Manjusha. Okay, Manjusha, thank you.